16 different comic titles had a July 1937 cover date. This was a slight drop from the month before. Gags number 1 was published by United Features Syndicate. This was a rare one-shot comic featuring jokes and cartoons from the publisher who gave us the monthly Tip Top comics. Number 1 is labeled as a summer issue, but there never would be a follow-up issue of this rare comic. Feature Books number 3 focused on Popeye. Published by David McKay Publications with a cover date of July 1937. This historic title was the first US comic book to devote complete issues to different characters. This was the first time this was attempted in the modern comic book market. The first 25 issues were oversized and black and white interior. Single character for an entire issue, this one was featuring Popeye and the Jeep. And the Popeye cover was by LZ Cigar and featured the characters Popeye and the Jeep throughout this one lengthy story. 83 pages in total featured the characters Popeye, the Jeep, Wimpy, Sweet Pea, and Olive Oil. It reprinted Popeye newspaper strips from early 1936. Lulu Magazine number 3 from Sun Publications was published in Chicago, Illinois. 25-cent cover price, 52 pages for this black and white magazine. Edited by Don Ulsh. It would run for 21 issues, lasting until 1941. It was filled with body one-panel gags and jokes, and contains adult content. Ace Comics number 4, with a cover date of July 1937, published by David McKay Publications. This featured the 4th comic book appearances of Jungle Jim by Alex Raymond, Blondie by Chick Young, also Crazy Cat. All 3 characters appear in all 151 issues of this series. Ace Comics was a series that ran from 1937 to 1949. Seeing Stars ran in the first 50 issues, featuring Hollywood movie stars. Tim Tyler's Luck also ran in every issue. Curly Harper strip ran in the first 100 issues. Blondie appeared in every issue, as did the strip The Katzenjammer Kids by Rudolph Dirks. This issue contains some strip reprints and feature appearances by Tex Tyler, Tilly the Toiler, Etiquette, and many more. The Comics number 4, published by Dell Comics with a cover date of July 1937. This was the 3rd series from Dell Comics, reprinting popular newspaper strips of the day. This issue is rated a 7 on the Gerber Scarcity Index. It features early appearances of Tom Mix, Washtubs, and Myra North. Some of the highlights include Washtubs on the cover, fishing, and there is a 4-page Washtubs story from writer-artist Roy Crane featuring the characters Washtubs and Lulu Bell, reprinted from the Washtubs newspaper strip published by the NEA. Detective Comics number 5 was published by DC Comics with a cover date of July 1937, the longest-running comic book title in history. Featured Larry Steele in the first appearance, that featured art by Craig Flessel, and also some great Joe Shuster artwork. The cover is by Craig Flessel. There is a lengthy 13-page Slam Bradley story from Siegel and Schuster. Winged Death is a 6-page story from writer Whitney Ellsworth under the alias Frederick Wells, with pencils by Craig Flessel. Siegel and Schuster gave us another story, the 4-page Spy. Will Eli debuted the new character Larry Steele, which also featured the first appearance of Mr. Steele, Larry's father, in a 6-page story from writer-artist Will Eli using the alias Will George. And Craig Flessel gave us a 6-page Speed Saunders story under the alias Fless. Star Comics number 5, published by Harry A. Chessler, cover date July 1937, features a Little Nemo story. Gerber rates it at 8, or rare. Some of the highlights include the Little Nemo in Slumberland and Impy cover by Bob McKay, who is also known as Windsor McKay Jr. And there is a Little Nemo 1-page story from Bob McKay doing the writing and artwork. Penny Ante is a 2-page story from artist John Lindermayer under the alias Linder Mayer. Dan Hastings is a 4-page story from writer Ken Fitch with art by Fred Gardenier. And Gardenier would also give us When Father Was a Boy, a short story. Star Ranger number 5 from Harry A. Chessler, published with a cover date of July 1937, features a 4th of July flag cover from artist Fred Schwab. And some of the highlights include many different strips from Fred Gardenier doing the artwork, such as Rolling Plains, 1 page. Lying Lou is a 2-page story believed to be by Gardenier. Also, White Coat is a 4-page story written by Norman Daniels and drawn by Gardenier, who actually signed it. Rattlesnake is a short 1-page story believed to be Gardenier under the alias FBG. Free Gold, a 3-page story from writer-artist Craig Flessel. And Where Men Are Men is a short story by writer-artist Will Eisner, actually signed. And Slim Pickens is a short story from artist Jack Cole, signed JJC. And Jack Ralph Cole, born December 14th, 1914, lived until August 13th, 1958, an American cartoonist best known for creating the comedic superhero Plastic Man and his work at Playboy magazine drawing cartoons. Cole began drawing for the studio of the Harry A. Chessler, one of the first comic book packagers who supplied outsourced stories to publishers entering the new comic business. There, Cole drew for Centaur publications comics such as Funny Pages and Keen Detective Funnies. Lev Gleason Publications hired Cole in 1939 to edit Silver Street Comics, where one of his first tasks was to revamp the newly created superhero Daredevil. Other characters created or worked on by the prolific Jack Cole include the Comet in Pep Comics, who in short order became the first superhero to be killed, and his replacement, the Hangman, both at MLJ Comics. After becoming an editor at Lev Gleason and revamping Daredevil in 1940, Cole was hired at Quality Comics. He worked with Will Eisner, assisting on his signature hero, the Spirit. At the behest of Quality publisher Everett Arnold, Cole later created his own satiric spirit-style hero, Midnight, for Smash Comics in 1941. Midnight, the alter ego of radio announcer Dave Clark, wore a similar fedora hat and domino mask, and partnered with a talking monkey. During Eisner's World War II military service, Jack Cole and Lou Fine were the primary spirit ghost artists. Their stories were reprinted in DC Comics hardcover collections of the Spirit Archives, Volume 5 to 9, spanning 1942 to 44. Jack Cole created Plastic Man for a backup feature in Quality's Police Comics in 1941, and Plastic Man gained his own title in 1943. The Funnies Number 10, published by Dell Comics, cover date July 1937. Some of the highlights include a Dan Dunn 4-page story from writer-artist Norman Marsh. Hal Forrest gave us a 3-page Tailspin Tommy story. Sheldon Mayer returned with Scribbly for 2 pages. Bob Moore wrote Don Dixon and the Hidden Empire for 2 pages with art by Carl Pfeiffer in this science fiction story. And they also teamed up for Tad of the Tan Bark for 1 page. And the Funnies Number 10 actually has a Lost Valley pedigree copy.